Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining today's webinar. My name is Chris Simbera, and I'm a product specialist here at Pulse Centers. My background includes 20 years of experience as a nutrition and naturopathic consultant, and since joining Pulse Centers in 2017, I've created a library of educational videos and blog posts to expand and enhance your knowledge of Pulse PMF technology. Now, today we're presenting a new addition to that library, the webinar, Positions for 3 Common Areas. Now, many of you call us with questions and concerns about what positions to use when working with your clients. We love getting these calls and requests for assistance, so please keep reaching out to us. But as we get these requests, many of the very same questions keep coming up repeatedly. And this has inspired me to share this information with all of you today. But before we get into the webinar, let's discuss PEMF and its key benefits. Now, PEMF is not a treatment for pain or any health condition. The key is that PEMF is addressing underlying cellular dysfunction by stimulating and exercising the cell, supporting the cell's ability to do its job better. Now, the benefits include that it helps to optimize wellness in a non-invasive way, enhances the body's natural recovery process, assists with muscle fatigue and discomfort from exercise, supports general relaxation, experience more energy naturally, and amplifies athletic performance. Now, to locate the citations that are referenced here, visit info.pulsecenters.com/research. Now, the 3 areas that we're going to discuss today are the lower back region, neck shoulder region, and the pelvic floor. Now, once you master how to pulse these 3 focal areas, you will be able to provide terrific pulsing experiences. So let's start with the positions. Number 1 is the lower back region. Now, a reminder to always start with a whole body accessory to exercise and stimulate all the cells of the body. And as you see, we're using that common 4 segment session here that we have it broken down in these little segments. Now, these positions should be very helpful for pulsing the low back region. Now, you can use either the total body bed or the chair pad to start the session, and the chair pad helps to provide focus from the chest region to the lower back with a slight emphasis on the lower back region. And for this reason, I have a slight preference to use the chair pad over the total body bed in these instances, but either will be great. And you'll pulse in this position for roughly 10 to 16 minutes with a PPS range of 2.5 to 7.8 for most. Second, next, laying on the square pad with it placed under the low back, find a sensitive hot spot. And oftentimes it will be about 1 inch or 2 above the belt line, on the belt line, or 1 inch or 2 below the belt line. And we suggest that we do this position for 16 minutes with a pulse range of 2.5 to 5.5. Next position is having the user lying on the square pad beneath the low back with the stacked paddles on the top sides of the pelvic region. This combination position provides a powerful push-pull effect to this region of the body. Use the stacked paddles to make micro movements to find any hot spots or sensitive locations in this area. And you'll do this for roughly 16 minutes with a PPS range of 2.5 to 5.5. Then, as always, finish up with a cool down, low intensity pulsing. And the settings for the cool down or the wash are 1 to 2 pulses per second with an MFS of about 25% or less, and for a minimum of 10 minutes. Now, of course, if you've got the EQX or the X or the X1 or the double X, you're just going to turn it to where they can barely feel the sensation of the pulse with no muscle contraction. Now, it's always a great idea to do a cool down with everyone because it's really hard. It really can help to mitigate severe detoxification reactions. Plus, it's very hard to predict exactly who will go through the more intense episodes. And the symptoms may range from headaches and fatigue to brain fog and nausea. Being able to support the user through this process should help to provide a more comfortable experience. Now, it should be noted that in most cases, users will generally start with lower PPS settings on the pelvic region, and this could be a 2.5 or 3 pulses per second. The 4.0 to 5.5 PPS setting range is typically not used at the beginning of someone's program. And this range is more commonly used as people get comfortable with this form of exercise and their body is really ready to be pushed a little bit more. The next position is for the neck shoulder region. Again, we still use that 4 segment session, starting with a whole body accessory. The bed or the chair obviously can be used, but the total body bed provides a little bit greater intensity on the upper back or shoulder area. And so it's a little bit more preferable on this location. Usually used for 10 to 16 minutes with a PPS range of 2.5 to 5.5, or you can go to that 7.8. Square pad under the neck shoulder region for 16 minutes roughly, 2.5 to 5.5 with that 7.8 as well. And the great thing about that square pad is it covers such a large area, making it really perfect for this region. Next, splitting the paddles, one on top of the mid-chest area and one directly behind and underneath the back. Now, this is an excellent way for targeting this area with a push-pull effect for roughly 16 minutes with a PPS range of 2.5 to 5.5. And of course, again, finish up with the cool down, 10 to 16 minutes at the low intensity settings. Now, the things to consider here is that the square pad is such a comfortable accessory that provides broad magnetic field to pulse a large area. Comfort and broad PMF delivery are a great combination. If you find a hot spot going down the arm, be sure to split the paddles and trace the pathway down the arm as well. Using the split paddles position on both the upper chest and back really helps to support this region from both directions. And then finally, we get to the pelvic floor area. The next set of positions that we'll really discuss here, just give a little bit more detail on how to do that on the pelvic floor, how to support it. So a good session for that could include, number one, total body bed or the chair pad, either one, again, 10 to 16 minutes, 2.5 to 7.8. Sitting on the square pad, 2.5 to 5.5. And then laying down on the square pad with it placed under the low back and paddles actually on top of the pelvic region. Be sure to move the paddles around to pulse those hot spot areas. And you'll pulse that spot for roughly 16 minutes at a PPS of 2.5 to 5.5. Now, if you're doing both hips, you might do one, say the right hip for 8 minutes, and then after those 8 minutes expire, you'll do the other hip for 8 minutes on the other side. So right hip, 8 minutes, left hip, 8 minutes. And then, of course, we do, again, the cool down for 10 to 16 minutes on the low intensity settings. Things to consider here: the square pad helps to pulse the entire pelvic floor region, exercising the cells from the bottom up. The square pad and paddles help to create combo, I should say, create that push-pull effect, which we like to do. And that particular position exercises the cells on the pelvic floor and low back and hips region. So it's very comprehensive. Well, there you have it. These are 3 very common areas that you can pulse over and over again in your wellness practice. And you're going to see these commonly. PMF can be one of the things that is used to enhance the body's natural recovery process. As you become more skilled, you will become more proficient at using accessory positions and adjusting the settings to optimize the user experience. In the meantime, if and when you are uncertain what positions and a range of settings to use, please feel free to call our office and ask to speak to a member of your product specialist team. We will be eager to assist you. Be sure to check back soon for our next webinar and visit pulsecertified.com for updates and new postings. If you need help or have a question, feel free to reach out to the product specialist team. We're really always here to help you. You can do it through email, support@pulsesetters.com, or through phone, which is what we actually prefer if you have the opportunity to do that, 888-952-7030, and press option number 2 unless you know our extensions. Monday through Friday are our hours, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Be sure to stay connected and follow us on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and Instagram. Thank you so much for listening and have a pleasant day.